Chapter 8 Guardian's Legacy. The storm had not yet reached the city, but from the balcony of the Verne Tower, Zirin could see its slow approach, a bruised line on the horizon, swallowing stars as it came. Below, the city glowed in shifting veins of laylight, its streets threaded with the faint hum of magic coursing through hidden conduits. The tower's high windows reflected those lights back, casting pale arcs across the stone floor. Inside, the air was warm with the scent of heated parchment and dust from old tomes. They had taken refuge here only hours after escaping the Undercity, a secluded place Silas knew, its walls lined with relic shelves and mechanical maps that shifted with the phases of the shroud. On the central table, the flux fragment rested on a circle of etched silver, its black cloth covering peeled away. Up close, it was no ordinary crystal. Fine filaments of light curled inside it like trapped lightning, bending in ways the eye wanted to deny. Lysara leaned over it, fingers resting lightly on the table's edge. Her hair caught the lamplight, a sheen of copper against the dark folds of her cloak. She spoke without looking up, her voice measured and sure. "It's not just a record. This is a key, but not for a door, for a seal." Zirin listened, watching the way her eyes tracked invisible lines through the fragment's glow. There was a sharpness to her focus, like she could peel away the world, layer by layer, until truth stood bare. Silas crouched beside them, unpacking a small bundle, smooth stones carved with spiraling runes, lengths of braided copper wire, a shallow bowl filled with still water. "If we want more than guesses," they said quietly, "I'll need to call the echoes." The ritual began with a low hum, Silas's voice weaving into patterns that made the water in the bowl ripple without touch. The laylight from outside pulsed in response, faint at first, then brighter, until the shadows in the room seemed to lean toward the sound. The fragment flared. Zirin's vision twisted, the tower dissolving into a place both vast and enclosed, a circular hall of broken pillars, bathed in pale light. At its center stood a lone figure in armor etched with sigils that bent the air around them, a guardian. But this time the vision went further. The guardian turned, and for an instant their eyes met his. Not just met, recognized. A shock ran through him, quick as a blade sliding between ribs. He staggered, the vision snapping back to the tower's lamplit air. His breath came fast, his fingers tight around the shard. "What did you see?" Lysara asked, her gaze searching his face. He hesitated. "Something I'm not ready to explain." Before she could press, the tower's wards screamed. A deep, resonant clang echoed from below, the sound of steel against warding runes. Chronivance. Zirin's gaze flicked to Silas. "And you? Where were you?" The time traveler's expression grew distant. "When the Undercity collapsed, I didn't fall. I was pulled. The flux trap wasn't just meant to kill. It was meant to scatter us through time. I ended up somewhere between." Lysara studied him, her eyes narrowing in thought. "You've danced on the edges of time before, haven't you?" Silas hesitated, then nodded. "I wasn't born the way you think. My people, what's left of them, aren't bound to a single century. We move along the weave when we must, but every crossing leaves a mark." His hand strayed to his ribs, where faint lines glimmered like cracks in porcelain. "Too many jumps, and the body remembers until it can't. The admission shifted something in the room. Zirin's earlier frustration dulled into understanding, and Lysara's voice softened. Then why risk it? Because, Silas said simply, someone has to. They didn't press him further. Instead, they turned back to the fragment, its hum resonating in the tower's stones. Lysara unraveled its cipher, each symbol unlocking visions of the Guardian, a towering figure wreathed in light, sealing the Void Spire's gates with the shard itself. Before the final pattern fell into place, a sound cut through the chamber, the flutter of fabric in a windowless room. Shadows lengthened unnaturally. Chronovants had found them. Wind roared through the rooftop as they emerged into the night, the city sprawling beneath them like a field of stars. Figures in jagged armor scaled the spire's edges, their weapons gleaming with time-bent distortion. The fight was brutal and fast, Zirin's blade cutting arcs of light, Lysara's cords snapping through the air, Silas weaving barriers of harmonic energy that shimmered like glass in moonlight. By the end, only one attacker remained, bound and kneeling, his helm torn away. His eyes burned with the same twisted shimmer as the Flux prisoner they had once faced. The battle was over, but the night was not.